Welcome back to Man from the Mist. For those of you new, my name's Barry. Today we're going to start and put together the motor for that Tauco drill. My new bearings turned up, so we're going to pop these into a deep fat fryer. Once we get them into there up to temperature, we're going to put them onto our rota shaft. So we'll clear a bit of space here, so we don't forget these two, the backing plates. One needs to go on the front, one needs to go on the back. The idea is when we put the lid on and we put the front on, the front comes on and sandwiches the front of the bearing, the backing plate seals the back of the bearing in with its lubricant. So let's get our bearings opened. Two brand new, number LJ78.EU, brand sparkling new. Let's pop our bearings into our deep fat fryer. Give them a couple of minutes to come up to temperature. So we've got both our backing plates in. We're heating them up, so hopefully they will just slip onto the areas. If we've got any reasonable movement in these. Let's just go and do it. That didn't quite go according to plan. The front bearing went on and got stuck, and I had to nip next door, push it on with a press. Back bearing went on the way I expected it to, just with a tap though, not a thump but a tap. Rear plates is on, but I forgot to film putting that bearing on, didn't I? So that is typical. Okay, now let's see if we can get my front plate on there. Oh, pull that out, wait a minute. Right. Not really the way I planned it. Not really at all. So now let's see if we can get a couple of caps in here. Right guys, that turned into a bit of a nightmare, didn't it? We had to, first of all, we got the bearing half on and we couldn't get it on any further because it was tight. We had to pop next door, use the press the bearing on. The back bearing, it went on as expected, went on, then tapped it on with a soft hammer, and it was great. But the front bearing, boy was that tight. I know when I took it to bits, I had to pull them off with the bearing splitters. They just would not come off. And then getting the bearing into the cap was another bit of a nightmare. So, and try, because you see there's nothing to locate that, so you literally, you have to fish it, try and get it to stay in place, pop the screws in. Right. These will all get a nice clean wash. No, these will all get a splash of paint on them once we get everything back together. Okay, up there. Now, next little job, wiring. We're going to wire our plate up. Then we have to fit the plate into the back of the head before we put the head on. Important that, because you cannot put it in once it's there. We've got 3 ends wired together, 3 ends separate. Now, across these, just make sure we're talking to the same wires. Green, green, red, red, black. It's got to be black in it, because there you go, we'll just, so the colours are consistent. So we have 3 cable tied together here, which was A1, A1, B1, C1, and we have A1, A2, B2, C2 over here. Now this was configured in star configuration. It needs to be altered to be delta configuration in order so we can run it on an inverter. So what we're going to do, A1s, I'm going to put A, B and C on my board. Yep. And then we're going to wire up the rest of them. So let's have a look here. We'll take our cable tie out. Green was A1, so we should have the green A, A1, A2, B1 black, B2 black, A1 red, A2 red. So that's what configuration in delta. Let's get the little socket onto there, and we'll just give them a twiddle. See if this is easier or at all possible. Might not be possible. Okay, let's see if we can fish the wires through. So that's for A terminals, that's for A wires, that's for B wires, and that's for C wires. Okay, that's what A terminal's in. And B is here. Right, so that's them secured. What's left to do now, put the rear cover on, get that pulled up forwards into the position, pack it full of grease and get the tail put on. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can just, we need to turn that up to get at that without the front moving. Right, now pop them, that front cover's moved. So we can go this just a there we go. Okay. Also forgot all the washers off the other end. But at least it's back together now. The inverter has arrived. So tomorrow we will put some wires into this and we'll get it to spin. We've got our cap with 3 little screws, grease inserts around the back there. Pop that on. I'm going to go in here and fiddle with this plate. One, 2, 3. Well, little greasers. Pop them back in. So there we go. That's we're back together, with the exception of the plate that covers the terminals. Forgot to paint it. That needs a coat of paint. And we've got a pulley to go back on the front, haven't we? Got a key there, and we've got our screws sorted out in there. So those have got to go in. There is that, which is a little screw that goes into there, and I think that's for your earth terminal. Right guys, that's it for this video. It put up a damn good fight. It really did, and it threw in a good few curved balls in the way. Let's run another continuity check here. None of this is touching earth. And then make sure that they're all connected. Yeah, happy with that. So as I say, tomorrow, inverters here. Tomorrow we'll put some wires on this before we put it on the back plate, and we'll get it to spin. Right guys, thanks very much for visiting. As always, your time is greatly appreciated when you come visiting us, fighting with motors and bits and bobs. But remember, don't overthink it. It's only nuts and bolts. And we'll see you in a short tomorrow where we've got this spinning. Thanks very much guys. See you in the next one. Ta-da now.